Welcome to Gem Collectors with Shawn. And I am that Shawn. And you probably looked at me and thought, did he forget his own name? I am so apologetic for missing last week. It's all on me. Hey, we had a great 3-show run, and I'm just going to say it like it is. If we're family, then I should be able to share my medical problems with you, right? You know, long haulers left over from COVID for 18 months now is a little tiresome. Just when you think you get over it, you're not over it. And you know, Asif knows if I make it past 7 a.m. and he didn't get a text that we're good to go for the show. But I did everything I could. So that aside, I'm here. And I have all the fervor and passion that you expect and want in your Shawn. By the way, before I do forget, for every one of you who is truly interested, I have that decades-old primary care physician appointment next week, believe it or not. Yes, finally, I can't wait. So I'm looking forward to it. Check back for more information. All right, so lots I want to do today. Let me just give you a little preview about the show today. We have items you have never seen before. I always hate to say new items because it's like a new shoes. You know, it's so a new mineral specimen, like Asif one time said to me, because I often check the estate box for mineral specimens. Well, it does relate because mineral specimens do and are handed down through estates, and previous owners, like even maybe my name one day, will add value to having been a previous owner to a mineral specimen. So in that sense of the word, in what we sell here, and the estate word can apply. But other than that, in general, I mean, how do you know? All rocks are old, right? And previously owned by Mother Nature herself. Okay. Questions and answers. We have trivia and we have right answers. So the questions were, and since I lost from 2 weeks ago, the questions, I'm just going to wing them because, well, you guys answered them so well, I could tell from the answers what the questions were. So what the first one was, it's always, I said to the Raven, I said, I'll go to just Miss Ursula's answers because the way she answers the question is with the question stated in the answer. Very clever. That would make it, the very first question would be, what is the official name of Georgia's state mineral? Answer being starlight. And she pointed out that it was made so that way in 1976. The other question was, what does the Greek word staros mean? Let me make sure it was Greek. Yep. Greek word staros mean? Well, of course, if you were listening and all you had to do was pay attention to the twinned crystal system of starlight, and you would come up with the word cross. Yep. So staros, Greek word for cross, and starlight, Georgia's state mineral name, so in 1976. All right, let's get to the comments. We have first Miss Cindy. She goes, hello, Rock family. Excellent show this week. Looking forward to next Monday. And so many of you said that in your comments, and you didn't know that I wouldn't be there, and feeling terribly, terribly guilty. And, you know, Asif understands me because we've been working together for like 14 years now, that how guilty I do truly take it on when I can't make a show. Because it's really a two-way street, because I want to be here as bad as you want me to be here. So in one way, stating how much you miss me is a compliment. In the other way, it makes me feel so bad because I want to be here, believe me. All right, so Cindy says, looking forward to next Monday. Cindy in South Central Pennsylvania, where there are signs of spring popping up. Yeah, you know what? There's signs of spring down here too, everywhere you can imagine. You know what? Snow for the area I live in, northwest Georgia, predicted for Saturday morning, and a low of 20 degrees and a high of only in the upper 30s. And you know what? Just like last year, my peach blossoms, and I have a grafted plum tree onto a peach, just like last year. And I feel bad for peach farmers. You know, Georgia's the peach state, right? They're going to get wiped out if they're North Georgia farmers, because there goes my blooms again. And once they're gone, they're not going to rebloom. So they are in beautiful full bloom right now. I am at least fortunate that my apples didn't bloom early this year. Oh yeah, besides being a prospector, I have an orchard out back, and we do well with blueberries. But you know what we do best with? Yeah, the wild Georgia blackberry, which is about as ravenous to a yard as kudzu could be, which is like English ivy, for those that aren't familiar with kudzu. So anyway, wild blackberries, Mother Nature knows how to do better than those of us that try. So Cindy goes on to say, hello, Rock family, because this was another comment which I didn't know if I got it in last week, so I'm just going to include it from Miss Cindy. Hello, Rock family. Thank you, Shawn, Raven, and GSN crew for another great show. Thanks, she puts for the in big letters, for the trivia contest. Birthday. Oh, yeah, this was in reply to her birthday when, just by the magic of this show, she won the trivia gift, which happened to be Vesuvianite from Quebec. And it is was her first Canadian specimen for her collection. How exciting. So anyway, then she got the trivia answered right. Now, we go on this week. Miss Peggy says, well, this week would have been last week. Miss Peggy says, good evening, Raven, Professor Shawn, the amazing gem crew, and my favorite rock hounds. Just finished your 3rd week in a row show. See, all those compliments, and then I blew it. It was great, and I love that you're keeping track, because every Monday I check for your show with great excitement, especially if I've entered in for the trivia. Hoping for more aquamarine in this show. This is the month of March. We need to see that blue-green. LOL. Yes, we do. Have to wait and see. Trivia. She gets the state mineral for the great state of Georgia. Her home state, starlight, being right in the Greek word for cross is staro. Please take care of yourself and go to the doctor. Find your joy and gold. Miss Peggy. And I shall do all that you state. Miss Ursula says, Shawn, hello, and I would like to compliment our Rock County community for showing their support to your podcast. Finding out that you are the winner of the previous week's trivia contest certainly adds to the excitement, as many of us can attest to it. Hey, that's so cool of you to say, Miss Ursula, that you guys actually do like the trivia contest and look forward to seeing if you're the winner or not. And again, just for those of you there who are new, welcome. And I hope we get new people every week. And for those of you that are watching the show and enjoy it, please spread it on, pass the link, forward the link, get it into, I don't know, the social network system, whatever you can do. I would be most appreciative. So again, for those that might be new to the show, we do a trivia question or 2 questions at the end of every show based on something that that I have mentioned, featured. And actually, today's show, the trivia, I'll go ahead and give you the heads up. The trivia question is going to be, name 3 of 4 of the minerals on a particular specimen. I hadn't done that in a while, and you've liked it, and it's something that you should know by now. So anyway, you have that to look forward to. In general, we do 2 trivia questions every show, and then we review the answers. Shawn at gemshopping.com, you send in the answers to me, and then we review them in the following show and announce the winner and the prize that you win. If there's multiple correct answers, then we assign a number to a person's name, put him in the hat, draw the number, and bingo, you're the winner. Okay, so thank you again. This is Miss Ursula. Thank you again for making my Monday so very special. I'll continue to pray for this country and making our leaders find the courage for peaceful resolutions to the conflicts that we are facing. Isn't that the truth? Mr. Anthony in Massachusetts. All right, listen to Mr. Anthony. Hello, all. My name is Anthony, and I have a gem problem. I feel like it would have been said something of the sort. And I think we all know kind of what you have to stay, what meetings you go to stand up and be brave enough to state that you do have that gem and mineral problem. Great show, he says. Find below the picture of the triplite stone I cut, which guess what? I'm going to show everybody the picture of the triplite that Anthony cut from rough that he bought out of a parcel that in my memory might have been $50 or something of triplite rough, maybe $60, I don't know. But he'd been shopping, buying triplite, Wait till you see the stone he found in that rough that looks so indiscriminately kind of not of value like you think it would be. Yeah, he's changed my mind. It also proves that I haven't high graded, but we'll get to that in a moment. Find below the picture of the tripolite stone I just cut and finished polishing, and it ended up to be a 41 point when all was said and done. It's a square cushion, my favorite cut. This is the second smallest stone that I have ever cut. Kind of proud of it. There's another crystal I'm sizing up for another possible faceted stone of this material. Also, I was happy and proud to see you sporting the owl. I think I need, he says, I think I need a dose of humility. Speaking of the owl, if everybody missed it, Mr. Anthony gave that to me with Savorite eyes that he had worked with and created the pendant piece as well, knowing that owl is my totem animal, my spirit animal. For a lot of very cool reasons that you'd love to hear one day when I get a chance to tell you. I scored the opal skulls. Interesting, cutting like masks. Yeah, because when you don't have the depth to cut a three-dimensional skull, you can do a two-dimensional skull, and that's what's been done on some of those. So yeah, that was just a great deal on those. The state mineral for the state of Georgia is starlight, and the Greek stars meaning cross, eyes down. Next, we have Mr. Brad. We hadn't heard from Mr. Brad in a while from Pennsylvania, getting the answers right. Greetings to Raven and Shawn, the Gem Shopping staff, and the Rock family. Just a quick note to say, another nice show. I think you must be feeling better lately. You have a lot of energy. You got, the Raven said to me coming over here, he goes, you know, Shawn, you know, your family, meaning all of you, can read your health in a moment of you speaking. And yeah, because I think I pretty much wear that on my sleeve, as they say. But that's why we're family, right? It's called being comfortable and just being able to be myself. Which when I don't feel well, you can tell. I think you must be feeling better lately. You have a lot of energy. Continue the improvements and be well. Thank you, Mr. Brad. Miss Gabby, greetings once again. Well, Shawn, the podcast will be 5 years in May. I like how she keeps track of that. I pulled my last invoice from your last live show, and it was dated May 16th, 2017. My, how time flies. Great job on the turquoise ornament, Summer. The finish and color is fabulous. It almost looks like a 3D type specimen. Thank you. Now I'm even more excited about seeing the rest. I hope I have item numbers on all of them next week so I can order. And as a matter of fact, I spoke to Kevin. He's going to have customer service call you with the item numbers, and so that you can order those if you haven't already by the time you see this show. And thanks, Brad, for bringing up the Muzo habit. Have to admit, I've never heard of that before, that I remember. Anyway, LOL. We'll be checking out my specimens for sure. Yeah, if anybody wants a little story on the Muzo habit, hey, could you get that amethyst specimen, Raven, if you get a chance? Wait till you get the amethyst specimen that he was referring to. And then we'll talk about the Muzo habit. If I didn't already take that specimen home, we'll check. Because yes, the very, very rare Muzo habit. Remember how we talk about habit of crystals? A habit just means a particular crystal form of a crystal. In other words, it can still be hexagonal, but the habit of it will be such and such type of a habit. And they have really fancy crystallography axis lettering to really name it. But what it basically does is terminate on only 3 sides, like a tourmaline or something. At the top, those Namibian, and it's very rare for it to occur and desirable. And so I checked with Kevin to see if those amethyst crystals did have that Muzo habit. And guess what? Well, first I checked with him to see if it had sold. And he said no. I said, would you bring it back to me? And he did. And he took it out of inventory. And so now I'm putting it back in our inventory because, yes, they have the Muzo habit. And I was giving them away. And that's just something I didn't have. So I really appreciate that because guess what? I wasn't that familiar or had already forgotten it, as Miss Gabby said. And so thanks again, Brad, for pointing that out. even though you probably should have bought it first. We'll be checking out my specimens for sure. Raven must be cleaning up her graveyards, LOL. I purchased some of the quartz skulls earlier on that I have shared with my nieces and nephews. I bet they love those. As far as the crystal habit of Ceylon sapphires go, I too have not found much information, but I have run across the pictures of doubly terminated cashmere sapphire crystals. I did too. And yes, I do think you have all the answers. No pressure, right? Take care and see you all next week. Miss Gabby. Yeah, that is some pressure, especially coming from people like you and Miss Barbara, because wait, Miss Barbara calls me out. Rightfully so, but we'll get into that. Professor Shawn, Professor Raven, GSN crew, and the whole Rock family. Wow, 3 shows in a row. Good on you. Happy to have my Monday mineral fix back. So you say that, and then I know I missed last week. I agree that Crater of Diamond State Park is on a lot of bucket lists, including mine, but with mobility issues, I'll have to enjoy it vicariously through videos and other people's stories. One point, though, I seem to recall it is a lamproite pipe, not a kimberlite pipe. But hey, getting to scavenge for diamonds you can keep is a thrill, no matter the details. Glad Summer is continuing her specimen painting. You have your own Tama Iguchi in the house. Just watched a YouTube profile of this college student who started painting mineral pictures in oils and has now moved on to watercolors on paper only since the pandemic. She is so good, her works are commissioned by the Walensky Gallery and other famous collectors who have her paint their specimens the same way they would contract famous photographers to document their best specimens. There's future in this avenue of creativity. I know, and I told some of this like a couple years ago. As to the trivia, Starlight and Starro. My Christian friend likes the Starlight crosses as well as the Andalusite variety Chiastolite, also in a prominent cruciform shape as symbols of their faith. Well, rock on, everybody. Mineral show season is coming up and restrictions are lifting, so get ready to shop till you drop. Okay, so back to Miss Barbara calling me out. Yeah, what I quickly said when I was referring to Crater of Diamonds State Park was that it's one of the United States' own kimberlite pipes. I guess I was really simplifying my answer because a lot of people have heard of kimberlite. It's named after Kimberley, South Africa, by the way. So the reality of it is a lamproite pipe. Now, this is, you're going to get it now. This is the reason why I just kind of simplified it, which I never should do because it's inaccurate. The actual deposit at Crater, and a lot of you will find this interesting, at the United States only place where you can mine diamonds and anybody can, in Arkansas, Crater of Diamonds State Park is just a several acre field that they plow every now and again, and it's open every day of the year. And as in the cases of many kimberlite pipes, the area is very centralized. Here's the difference between a kimberlite pipe, and I actually have a piece of kimberlite that I'm going to show you later, and there's 4 different types of lamproite. All right. There's only one type of lamproite. The Crater of Diamond State Park actually has all 4 types of lamproite. See, this is the information that if you actually learn it and know it, that's why I told you when I brought this up that I know that I would be more successful than anyone else for many different reasons. And I just kind of told you because I know what the crystals look like, like the Cowrie Valley corundum. Remember that conversation? Well, you're getting ready to hear the other reason why. There's 4 different types of lamproite. Crater of Diamond State Park represents all and has all 4 of them. But there's only one type of lamproite that is known to contain diamonds. And there's one area of Crater of Diamond State Park that one type of lamproite is more prevalent than the other types. A lot of people waste their time in other areas because they don't know this level of depth of knowledge of geology and what is diamondiferous and what is not. The type of lamproite that you look for, and I'm still going to simplify this because we have lots of things to do, should contain about 35% olivine. It is olivine that is represented in kimberlite as well. That is one of the desirable minerals that you look for. Same thing goes with lamproite. if you look for some of the magmatic lamprite, the problem is magmatic lamprite is a high temperature magma. The temperature is such that it will actually burn the diamond. Remember, diamond is pure carbon. At a high enough temperature with oxygen, it burns. Diamond pipes are kimberlite and are slow moving, and hence they cool and solidify, just like the Devil's Tower in South Dakota, right? That is a basaltic pipe, basically, of a diamond pipe that is still standing, everything else eroding out and around it. Kimberlite pipes are just that. They are the inner cones of volcanoes where the magma from deep in the earth is brought up and then solidifies because it's slower moving. And that is how your diamonds are brought up from deep within the earth where they are formed. Lamprite is different. Lamprite is your lava deposits. So all that magma coming out in Hawaii, forming the dikes that is spilling down and all these other lava tubes later, everything that's going to be formed for the most part around that is going to be a form of lamprite, not kimberlite. Kimberlite is a completely different animal and forms at completely different temperatures and is the more diamondiferous deposit you want to find. But lamprite is known to contain diamonds, but only one type of it. That is everything in a simplified form. To call it what they both are, they're both igneous rocks, and with lamprite, it is referred to as ultra basic. There is no quartz or feldspar in lamprite, the two most common minerals in the Earth's crust. Doesn't have it. Kimberlite can have and must have olivine. It also can contain garnet, chrome dioxide, chromite, carbonate, and other particular minerals. But in the case of lamprite, only 1% of kimberlite deposits around the world will have diamonds in them. But what people don't know, there's only 3 lamprite deposits across the United States, crater diamonds being one of them. Kimberlite deposits in the United States, the whole western slope of the Appalachians are scattered with kimberlite deposits. No diamonds produced in them, but there have been diamonds found in almost every state of the United States, many of them carried by glaciers over the top of these scattered places that mainly up in Canada working their way down, but have found their way. And for odd reasons, and it could have to relate to these kimberlite pipes that are scattered across the eastern United States and western states as well, much more common than lamprite. So the two types of diamond producing rock you have just learned about, both are important to have an olivine content in them. And the kimberlite, just know, are the ones that you see the big hole, the big pipe, that they both are found carrot shaped and can be, if you find lamprite, you will also mine it down in a cone, just like you do kimberlite. But you have a higher chance of finding diamonds in kimberlite than you do lamprite. If you do find diamonds in lamprite, like the crater diamonds, it's going to be in the olivine bearing content, and you can actually see the green little vugs of olivine in it. I'm going to show you the green in kimberlite in a bit. That's it in a nutshell. But basically, Miss Barbara's right. It's a lamprite deposit that they're found in and not kimberlite. But you know, it was a lot easier just to say, oh, kimberlite, but it wasn't accurate. Okay, Mr. Harry, who we have not heard from in a long time, says, LOL, hey, Shawn and Gem Shopping, I hope all is well. I just loved those opal parcels. I'm more looking for gemstone, clean, flawless, rough. Maybe you have things I could buy. I will send pics of some of my stones, all natural, all made by Father God and flung right into the earth, as is creative is mind-boggling. Okay, trivia questions, getting both of them right. I would like to wish all of you good health and much love in the house. Sincerely, Harry. If I get a chance, I'm going to show a stone of Harry, that Harry cut as well. And we hadn't not heard from Harry in a while. Remember, he was the other one of the family that is an active cutter. Miss Elisa says, hello, Rock family, GSN crew, Professor Shawn, and the lovely Raven. Thank you for saying about the axonite. that made me feel confident enough to make some purchases. I'm so excited to add the purpurite. Good to know you got that. The yellow beryl and some clear topaz to my collection. Thank you. My answers to this week's question, and she gets them both right. And she got 3 out of the 4 items that she wanted. She looks like she missed out on the starlight, but she did well on getting 3 of 4. Thank you all again, and have a great week, everyone. Okay, so we drew the winners, put them in a hat, and the winner is, there might be some envy this week for the prize, but things happen for a reason. We'll see what Miss Peggy thinks as the winner of this week's trivia. Let's show her what she wins. Behind door number 1. Check out this. Lightning Ridge opals. Lightning Ridge black opals in a suspension box. And you can see this is all Lightning Ridge material. And you can see when they have that dark of a base color, they are definitely Lightning Ridge and can definitely be called black opal. You can look at the color in those. Look at how dark. That's a real beauty. And so anyway, yeah, look at that. Who gives away opals as a trivia gift? Look at that. Look at that one. Yeah, one of my, look at that. So someone can have a lot of fun. Or why I gave the suspension box, you can have a lot of fun. Oh, let me see this one. I want to see this one too. Yeah, look at this. This one looked really, yeah, there we go. Really good. Is because you could just put them in the suspension box and display them that way. All right, let me do exactly that, and I'll be right back with you. Wow. Wow. If that's not impressive, Mr. Anthony cut that 41-point triplite from the rough that the show has been offering. And he's also cut some amazing cabs, he said, as well. So just goes to show you, not only is he a great cutter, that the value, because triplite, that is, to me, the most expensive color, that reddish orange, orangish red, that's what you want. So at 41 points, and you multiply that by the price per carat, something that I would sell, and he certainly got a great return on his investment. So anyway, that deserves showing off. Okay, let's get the show started. Okay, as Miss Peggy had wished for, this is the aqua that we have entered in the inventory for the week that I decided to part with. And this is a special piece for a lot of reasons. For one thing, it's got a great iris right there. These are feldspar crystals, and I love any extras that are on specimens. Look at the wonderful irises up here as well. Look at the size of that. There's your green blue. Telling you right there that it has not been heat treated. And look at the incredible irises still. But there was something a little, oh wow, look at those colors, almost like an opal. A little something extra special about this crystal that makes it only the second one I have ever found. The first one being owned by Miss Gabby. And that is a aqua crystal with an anhydro water bubble in it. And this is one of those crystals. In looking at this and researching it, I happened to tilt it just the right way. Now, we're not going to be able to take the time to bring the magnification in and have all the fun, but I'm going to show you what to look for, whoever gets this. There is and Dave actually saw it with a 10-power loop with no problem. And what you're looking for, there is a bubble. Actually, you can see the bubble. You can actually see the bubble. And whether I can hold it steady for you to see it move up or not, you can see it right there. There's the little, it hides out and starts at the little, this is actually shoal tourmaline, the little black mark. This one, the arrow, I made so you knew the general area to look for. But these 3 other black specks are tourmaline, are minerals. But anyway, you tilt it, and that bubble will move up and down in a little channel right through there. Once you see, and it's very close to the surface. So once you see it, you can't miss it, and then you will have, out of all the aquas, oh, there it is, see it move. And now it will move back up there. So you know what to look for. It's just so much fun to have a mineral specimen, to find something really neat and cool and valuable. This specimen was worth what I'm asking for even before I found the anhydro bubble. So you get that for free. Only $144. Only $144. And it is a good size. You can see that in my hand. Look at that. All right, now while we have that up real quick, you know, Mr. Anthony mentioned that the 41-point triplite was the smallest stone that he had ever caught. And I had to kind of giggle to myself, but let me show you. I happen to be working on a stone right now as a replacement for an antique emerald ring. The Art Deco ones, you know, when they put the little emeralds, and they almost always get broken out. And are replaced, you see, with a hodgepodge of emeralds over time since. Well, I'm cutting an emerald, and only at Gem Shopping would you get to see something done right by way of making a piece whole. And I'm cutting an emerald to fit into one of those tiny little channels. Well, let me show you where, just to give you an idea of size. This is actually large. This is the size I'm working with now in an emerald, but you can see the relative size that, and I'm starting off with a bigger stone to cut it to fit, but it gives you an idea of how small cutting really is. And while I have this up, I just want to show you that this is a piece of incredible Burmese peridot. And let me just give you an idea. I may offer some rough of this material. I have to think about it, but let me show you. I cut a window into it, polished a window into it, just to see what I was working with. And wow, look at that. That color is what you want in a peridot. That color is what tells you that it is a Burmese peridot. Also, the fine clarity is rare. I see a stone I could cut maybe with a feather in it for a bigger stone, or a completely almost flawless clean stone. But something that only here at Gem Shopping do you get to see. If people look hard enough, under the Learning Center is where you can find this show. Well, where else would you ever see someone that can offer the opportunity, and as Dave irises through different colors for depth of field, and also for, look how you can see the different things that you wouldn't see otherwise. So anyway, you don't get to see that at any other network but right here. And to actually see a piece of Burmese peridot rough before it's cut, look at that. Look at that. I mean, you know, there's peridot, and then there's the good stuff. And that's the good stuff. So you can see from the size of that and the size that I have, the one on the dot that I am working on. Yeah, I have fun too when I can get a chance. And I'm going to be cutting those for myself. So anyway, except for that little emerald deal. All right, we're going to tuck that emerald away. And I have so much more to do. I tell you what, let's just go straight to it. Let's go to item number 1050022. 1050022. And look at that. Speaking of some more beautiful green material, here is teddy bear. Here is a amazing British Colombian Jade bear. And let me explain a little bit about this particular one. There's nephrite, and then there's nephrite. And in this particular bear, you have chromium, a nephrite with a higher chromium value. And just like you have in Mao Sit Sit, what you find in Mao Sit Sit is a very high chromium content minerals, and you know, a blend of them. That's the same thing here. You have some of your regular nephrite you're used to seeing, and then look at that. So it's really a amazing piece. And actually, if you turn this, it's almost some changing of color, almost a little bit of a chatoyancy to the color. But holding a salmon, you can see 2 inches long, really nice piece, and really nice because of the difference in the jade, So price on this, Only $77. Only $77 on that one. And that material is getting harder and harder to find. I could go into the long story about it because I know it well. My friends have 3 claims up there. They don't do the Jade show. That show, they said, of course, is hokey, and there's, of course, inner fighting amongst the people in regards to that. But pretty much the tribal land leaseholders are making it very expensive and very difficult to do nephrite mining. I would expect to see nephrite pricing go up. Let me show you 1050622. This is from my Made in America collection. That bear almost made it. It made it in North America. Yeah, British Columbia, so our Canadian neighbors. This, oh wow, Connecticut. Connecticut and New Jersey have some stunning quarries that produce some amazing zeolites that you wouldn't think that would come out of there. So as we go in close, look at this one. Now this particular specimen, you can see it's part of almost in a bigger void, I would say, a bigger what would be a geode, but it would be a bigger kind of nodule. These aren't really kind of found as geodes, they're found more as in vesicles or in little areas. And look at the brightness. Now this one has a nice light green to it. Prehnite also can be found even into a whiter color, but really nice crystalline forms. Now, let me, price on this prehnite I have is only $38. $38. Now, while I have that, let me show you. I've often talked about prehnite. Of course, it's a semi-precious stone, and it's used in many higher end fine jewelry pieces. It has made its way into the designer market. Let me show you item number 1050722. And this is something that I've just had in our personal collection, and thought that since I'm exhibiting prehnite, it might go well with the show if I show an actual cut stone from this material. Look at the color. See what I mean? Coloring. And wouldn't that make a neat display if you had a cut stone of prehnite situated amongst the prehnite specimen, huh? How about that for a great combination? And putting the display idea in your head. The Molly prehnite. Now, who remembers from a few weeks back that Molly and epidote prehnite specimen I had? Yeah, you should, with the 2 colors. That's what I couldn't believe I actually had to show it twice for that to sell. It had the yellow prehnite and the green prehnite in the same specimen. That was stunning. So I've always told you how prehnite never is crystal clear. It always has a little bit of a foggy haziness to it, kind of like rose quartz does. And that's what you're seeing here. So it's often can be cut checkerboard cut. It often has inclusions. Checkerboard often can hide those, but you can see that this particular stone really comes close to mirroring the color of this prehnite, except it is found a whole continent and a world away from it. But a nice, so let's see. We're talking about $38 and $47. In my head, that is $85, and what a cool display the 2 would make to put those together. Put those 2 together for less than $100 bill? Yeah, only at Gem Shopping and only at a long established show who knows how to buy things right, and who then forgets what he pays for them and doesn't really care about profit and is a terrible businessman and just allows everybody to take advantage of him, but I don't care. I love rocks and minerals and I love to share them. So $47 on that, $38 on the prehnite specimen. And now let me have one moment to put the 2 up correctly. Be right back. Straight from my collection. Look at this. This is a classic for this location. And it's very desirable for a couple of reasons. The size of the crystals is one of them. All right, so in vanadinite, so look at this. So look at the size of those. Beautiful, well-formed, large crystals. That's what you want to see. This is just nothing but vanadinite. Sometimes you get vanadinite on barite and other specimens like that. This is pretty much all vanadinite. Now, you'll get into some other, look at this, some of this other color, and it'll be vanadinite's crystal system straying a little bit on everything involved, because it is a what they call a lead vanadate. In other words, it has lead and vanadium with a chlorine content, actually. And so various amounts of those can alter the chemistry enough to give it different colors. There's also vanadinite that's referred to as sandwich vanadinite, and it's vanadinite where the crystals layer in colors and creating what looks like two pieces of bread and a piece of meat in between. And it's fun to look at these crystals to see and see if you can spot any of those. This is a good size piece for the quality of the crystals they are. As so often is the case, one side of the vanadinite will look like this. And it's really interesting that the other side, look at that, will have just a more like an oxidized version. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but it's not like limonite where it comes off on your finger. It's just a different composition of the vanadinite, giving it a solid color look. This is a really great specimen, really well formed. The crystals aren't nicked up, damaged. The real crystal aficionados will get so picky about nicks and scratches or little dings and dents on on specimens. And at the high level of the mineral world collections, it does matter. But at our level, no, it doesn't. Because you know what? This specimen is easily half of what you'd find it for in even our local gem and mineral shows at only $68. You can't go wrong. $68, you can't go wrong. And again, that kind of quality and size worth considerably more. And coming straight from our collection. Next, I have, this is something you haven't seen, 1050522. And you have seen the mineral specimens for this, but not the actual loose crystal itself. Now, wouldn't it be fun if I had a crystal like this sticking out of a rock like that? Just like that. You know what we'd have? Instead of having a Herkimer diamond, we would have the real deal, a real diamond in kimberlite. Yep. So if anyone, we were just talking about kimberlite and lamprite, remember? This is genuine kimberlite. And I'm showing you this now just because of the tie-in to the Herkimer diamond, which of course is a doubly terminated quartz crystal, but it would look very much like how diamonds would look when they are actually in kimberlite rough. Could you imagine having a diamond crystal like that? Well, they do occur, and they do and are found in kimberlite rough that look just like that, except the crushers will break it down and they'll remove them. They have such a better system now for not crushing up the diamonds like they used to. All right. So this crystal, if anybody's interested, it's really clean. It's got a couple little dings, very little carbon, which is the black that you find so much with the Tibetan material. And it's nicely doubly terminated, and it's $9, only $9. So anyway, now let me just go back to the kimberlite for a moment, because remember we talked about it having to have an olivine content. That's a green material. Green mineral. Well, look at how green this is. This is just a polished face of it. And you can see how green this is. And you can see these little it also can contain phlogopite mica. There you go. There we go. Here we go. Look at that green. Now, if that doesn't look like a peridot crystal, right? Olivine, peridot, yep. That's what we're looking at. So this is I cannot actually get kimberlite specimens. This could technically have diamonds in it. Who knows? But this is a classic specimen because of not only having the other minerals in it that you want to see. Here's your carbonate in there, your micas, your phlogopite micas, and boy, look at some really nice green crystals of olivine as well. So anyway, just wanted to show you what kimberlite actually looked like. Very few people ever get to see it. That's a NFS, not for sale specimen, but that really looks nicely displayed on top of it, doesn't it, as a Herkimer doubly terminated quartz crystal for $9. $9 on that crystal. I thought you might enjoy getting to see that. No, the rock is not for sale. It's an educational piece. This is $9. Yep. But being that it was kimberlite and what holds diamonds, I thought the segue in from a Herkimer diamond that is quartz would be a good way. Okay, all right, so it failed. All right, my segue to it failed, but I tried to make a nice connection. Shot down. All right, now, if we're looking for something that is aquamarine for the month of March, let's take another look at the last three I have left of something very cool. 919219. 919219. I only have a quantity of 3 of these. Now, for those of you that got in on all the others that I had, which were quite a few, look at this. This is, we don't have time to go through all of them, but with Moldavite and the information between, you know what? Now that you see, and you get to hear them talk about Moldova you see in the news and that area of Europe and all. And I think of Moldavite, of course, it's named after the Moldau River, part of Czechoslovakia. So not exactly a connection to it, but I think of that when I hear of the country of Moldova in the news so much now. Moldavite, a tektite. All right, so you can read more about it here. Don't have time to totally show you, but look at how big these are. And look at then the aqua crystal. Look at that. Look at how large that is. So these 2 pieces, that's a bicolor one, really nice quality and really nice quality Moldavite. And it tells you about the metaphysical parts of it as well. So it'd make a great gift, see, Czech Republic, to give someone. So that is one set. Here's another one of the sets. I'm just going to show it to you through the bags to save time and money. And, well, that's kind of crummy in it. But okay, Shawn, I'll take a minute. All right, look at that quality aqua. Maybe I kept these because I was high grading them because, wow, to get that and that really nice piece of Moldavite, both of these. Okay, so guess what? These sets of 2, only $14 per set. $14 per set. So, and we're only selling them as a set. And here's the last set. And again, look at how fine that aqua is. Really beautiful. Oh, look at the cap. Look at the 2-tone color to that. Little additional mineralization and a very nice size piece of Moldavite. $14 a set, only down to the last 3. So if you want all 3, you're welcome to take all 3. I'm not putting any limits on it this time because it's a closeout. And remember, we're still doing a sale in this show as well. That is on sale. So no holds on the limits on the sale priced items either. Just take advantage of them now. All right, let me show you the next item, 1051222. 1051222. Now, we're going to segue from the aquamarine being a barrel, yeah, I'm really stretching it now, to an emerald. Not just any old emerald. This is going to be obvious that it is a Colombian emerald. And it is, let me get this in the right place. One earring. I kid you not. I have one earring. Not a pair, But you know, you gals, you often love to wear one earring. Look at that. Boy, if you really can't tell, that's a Colombian emerald. Man, 18 karat gold. You know, the amount what the time it would take to custom fit a cap to the end of that crystal. I know what it is. I've done them before on bigger pieces, and a lot of time, because that cap is made to fit the shape of that crystal. But wow, what a quality crystal. Quarter carat at least. I mean, look how big it is against my hand. And but I had no real way of telling, so I just put quarter carat. 18 karat gold. And you know, really, this comes right off. So you undo the earring, and if you want to take this completely off and put a little bail on it or do something else with it, and then use this just as the wire, or you can make the bail from the wire and have a pendant. I don't know. Get creative. I know you guys can do that. Price on this whole piece, only $44. Only $44. So that would certainly, I would think, be worth that. So let me just sit that right there. Look at that green. You know, when you see that kind of green, it really is kind of easy to say that, wow, yeah, that's kind of easy to tell when it's Colombian emerald. All right. Now, while I'm doing dainty things, I have something here that is pretty amazing, I think. Let me show you. Item 1050422. And this is one of the, I guess I'm going to use that word, an estate piece. An estate mineral specimen is in a perky box, as you know, those collections of perky boxes I got. So we're going to unfold this together.
Let me check that number.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. It's it might be me not reading it. 1050422. Oh, yep, here we go. Everybody can go over this together with me before I let you see it. So the Nica mine. The Nica mine, it often sounds like mica, but that is the world famous mine in Mexico, of course. It produces those, you know, in the National Geographic, the 50, 60 foot long selenite crystals that are 3 and 4 feet in diameter. They're actually going to, you know, I'm glad, hopefully they'll do it, seal it back up and let it continue. It's basically a living geode. Let those crystals continue to grow because they have to keep it pumped out, the water pumped out. It's part of another mine system. And it's 130 degrees in there, and you can usually only stay about 10 minutes, and that's with an ice pack vest that you have to use. So really used by the scientists. It has added great knowledge to scientists' knowledge of how crystals grow in a living environment. All right, I say that because this little jewel, it's what's called a thumbnail specimen, and literally because usually they're 1 inch or smaller, comes from that mica, from that Nica mine. And it is such a unusual rarity and so dainty, but wow, what a cool specimen it is. Let me get rid of this box and let's look at this together. These are selenite blades. Look at, and yellow fluorite. And I went into the closet. Oh, yes, I did. I went in the closet alone. And I hit this with fluorescence. And of course, the fluorite just beautifully glowed up. And then look at those crystals. Look at those individual crystals of selenite, which is a form of gypsum. And to have that many crystals undamaged, you know it was well taken care of. And this wasn't glued down to the bottom of the perky box or hot glued down, which you couldn't take it off of it if it was without destroying it. So someone knew what they were doing. It was wrapped up in some really old tissue. And guess what? I'm going to give you the really old tissue with it. Yeah, I don't hold anything back. Look at those crystals. The fluorite really makes it. And the combination, believe it or not, in the world of fluorite and selenite together, you would think that it would occur, but it doesn't. It is actually the Nica mine is one of the very few places that the combination of these two minerals has ever really occurred. And I just would not think that. These are both low temperature minerals, and I would think that they would be found together. But it takes the elements to be found together, and the fluorine for the fluorite would be a lot harder to find. Look at that. Isn't that cool? And it's a really neat crystal of the fluorite. Anyway, talking too much about this very cool small specimen that's not a whole lot of money. It could or should be, because I just think it's a lot more valuable than the $28 I'm asking for it. But if you want a very neat thumbnail, or if you want something else cool to a world-class and world-famous mine, then that would be something that you would want to add to your collection. I am going to hand that over to the Raven carefully so she can wrap it up carefully as well, while I show a return request, which I don't normally do, but I'm going to, because I said I would when I first showcased some of these, and they all sold. Let's look at the first one. 1051122. Let me get this open and show you. Yes, we are doing star sapphires, and the pinks and purples, just like you had requested and wanted before. And hold on, let me get this over as I should. Look at that beauty. And let me get her to wrap that up good. Look at that one. Look at that one. I'm actually showing you 65 carats. That's my fault. What did I write? It's it's not 65 carats. How did I carry that over? I do know, remember the weight though. There was, if that's the biggest one. Yep, I remember the weight. If you could change that to a carat 30. Thank you. Yeah, because the price at 65 made it only $50 a carat. That's why. Yep. Oh, I just gave away the price. I wasn't going to do that. I was going to talk more. I know I drive awesome nuts when I do that. $65 on this stone. It's the biggest one. Now, you can rush and say sold on it. Indeed, I'm going to be showing two others, but this is the biggest one. Look at that gem. Look at that gem. That is something. Now, you know, these are native cut. And by that, I mean, they're not cut perfectly round. They often will cut for weight. This one, the back of it's cut quite nice, actually. They're often cut like chrysoberyl, where you see part of the original crystal in the piece, like calcite chrysoberyls, where they retain the weight as much as possible. But this one, wow. And the color you're seeing it as is really spot on. I mean, wow. Let me tell you this. The money Gem Shopping has invested in new camera equipment, TVs, all kinds of incredible equipment has been amazing. And the improvement, and someone like me can assess that because I know color, gems, and whatnot. The improvement in the accuracy of the color has been phenomenal. And this gets it right on. Now, when it comes to sapphires, look at how perfect this is. It is symmetrically 6 fine legs coming all the way down and around. This baby's got legs. Really nice ones. Okay, so that's one. Now that's the biggest. Yeah, but not necessarily the best. Let's go to the next one. Item 1050922. 1050922. And, you know, I realize I'm selling these way less than I should be. And that's all I have to say to that statement. that paragraph ends right there. Because I am. And everybody knows I am. Sapphires in this color and quality from Ceylon. Yeah, it's a, they're not $50 a carat. Look at this beautiful. Really beautiful. Now, it's a wonderful purple. I would not call this one, like some people might want to say, ruby, but no. No, it's purple. And yeah, it looks like it does. Another incredible, great 6 legs on this one. And the weight, well, you can see the dimensions, so it would fit a easily. You know, you can get these into 5x3s or 6x4s. Any competent goldsmith or stone setter should be able to. Price on this one is only $40. Only $40 on this one. Yeah, $40. It's 80 points. Yeah, $50 a carat. Oh, see the back of it? See the little naturals? If they went to cut those little places out like that, you'd lose so much in the stone, and there'd just be no point in doing that. So I don't blame them. Now, let me show you the last one. That goes to the selenite. The last one, item number 1051022. Yep. And when I showed these last time, it was as, and they sold out. And it just goes to show you that, here's for the Herkimer. And that I do remember your request. And I said that I would put some more into inventory. And sure enough, I did. Now, these sell out. I don't know if I can do it again. I'm not going to say I'm totally don't have any more. I just don't know how many of them I want to sell down. Because these, to me, I can't even replace these little jewels. Look at this one. Look at this one against the color of this other one. Okay, now look at this. And this neat to compare colors. Let me see if I can turn this. I love doing stuff like this and playing with gemstones like that. Look at those, and they're laying on their side. Look at that. See what I mean? The native cuts. That inclusion will not be visible from above at all. But the way they cut these is appropriate. There's actually more below the girdle line than there is above. But that only helps the color and helps the star. Look at that star. Now, yes, sir. That's 105. What is that? 10. Do I not have enough numbers? 105 1022. Okay, great. All right. So this one. Need I say more? Now, purple, pink. And it's really kind of tough to say colors until you have other colors to compare next to them. Because I have one, and I guess I was going to inventory it, I didn't do it. That is a true, what I would call a pink star sapphire. And if you compared it next to the one I have in the tweezers, it would make this one look like the purple pink that I'm calling it. Because it was like an incredible pink, like a natural baby pink, like you paint your daughter's bedroom when she says, I want pink. That's the color. So this one is a purple pink. I would say maybe it's a little bit more, I don't know. It's a purple pink. It's a pink purple. It's somewhere in that range. Difficult to exactly assess the colors. But you get the general idea because it is the color that you're looking at. And look at the transparency on that. I mean, look at that. And for those stars to just be so well lined up, those are just so much fun to look at like that. I am wasting time, but that's because I am getting to enjoy seeing them for the last time. Price on this guy, it's a bargain. I mean, all this is a bargain, whether it would be, something in the 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever. It's also inexpensive. Only, yeah, what can I say? $48. $48 for that one. We'll take this one away. Yep, that one. What a stone. You can see it relative to my finger, roughly how big it is. But, man, you cannot beat the how well those legs are lined up. All right, let me get these in the right container. Take a minute. Be right back. I am trickling these specimens out as well. Don't have too many that I have left, but this is a completely different crystal look than the other Jones Mine specimens I have offered. And I thought that you might appreciate it because let's look at this closer. Okay, now if you look at this rock like this, everybody, who would step over it? Now Dave, he's gotten better. He's not been stepping over moonstones anymore, that's for certain. And he probably wouldn't step over this one because you know what? Microline feldspar. It would stand out. right there. As soon as you catch that glimmer, then you know you are most likely into a feldspar, especially when it's this color. Remember the peach moonstones right here, peach state of Georgia? Well, this is from North Carolina, not too far away. So it's not quite as peach. But you can tell that you see that reflection, the word adularescence for adularia, a type of feldspar. You know what? Microcline, okay? Microcline feldspar claims that it is the moonstone feldspar. Well, I have seen all the feldspar families claim that they're the moonstone feldspar. Adularia, orthoclase, plagioclase, which is labradorite. You know what? It seems that all the feldspars will have some type of reflection back out of them like moonstone does. Okay, so that's what you're looking at. We got the microcline, the feldspar covered. But that's not what the Jones mine. We're talking about a mine that was been closed since the 1960s. I was able to buy one flat. One flat is all I'm working from of this material from back then. And I don't know, they must have had it for a long time and didn't realize with something like that, that people would find it so cool and valuable, because I think I got it at a pretty good deal. Let's look at the rest of this specimen. As we spin this around, you can actually see the coarse crystals of the microcline, but this isn't coarse at all. No, it is exactly as it's supposed to be. Look at that. You see the zircon in its natural habitat, and habit, pun on the play of word, meaning the habit for crystal. This is the perfect and classic habit that you will see zircon in. If this crystal was totally removed, you see the four pointed, well, it looks like the top of the Washington Monument, except the sides, it won't be graduated. They'll be perfectly straight, and then coming to a 4-point termination here. And on the other end, it will be pointed as well. When there's not the space in between, that's when we get the look that you're familiar with as well. It can be bipyramidal or dipyramidal, two what looks like two pyramids base to base. That's a big crystal just looming right there. Is there an opportunity for more crystals to be inside this specimen? Absolutely. And if you're careful, you can actually remove more of the feldspar away from this one to expose it more. That's called, mineral preparation, specimen preparation. It's truly an art in the museum world for people that do that and take specimens and clean them up. And the before and afters are amazing when you know what you're doing. Look at this, okay? So here is the negative of where another crystal was, but would have popped out. But let's look around this a little bit more. What do we have here? Here's another zircon. What did we find? Some epidote. Oh yeah. There is some epidote right there. Let's keep looking. Oh, big flash there. There's zircon. Here, more of the zircons. You can see that square? You know you have a zircon. That one as well. Little ones scattered throughout. More epidote. I don't know. Have we looked at that? I don't know. I don't think we've looked at this one before. This would be an easy one to get to if you wanted to remove it and have a floater. There's some what they call floater or loose ones that are from this mine for that reason, because they are able to be broken out of the host rock. There's another one looming in there. So yeah, look at this. Look at how many. As we come away from this specimen, and then as I turn it in all directions, you can see almost on every side, yeah, there is a zircon on every side. Needless to say, there are many more zircons inside. And in a way, it would be fun to kind of break it down. But in a way, it would look great sitting in the cabinet displayed just like that with your big feldspar crystal sitting here with your zircon dead center like that. And at a price of $58. Yes, never showed that before, but that is a sale price indeed on something that is from a mine. Henderson County closed a long time ago. and just the material no longer able to be found. There's some specimens, I don't know if I'll ever, maybe at some point I'm going to let one go, that from that mine that are known to have sphenes. Oh yeah, sphenes. And I may offer one in at some point because I found one that did. Item 1049822. Now this one isn't it, but this is along the lines of this one. Here's the difference in size if you're comparing one to the other, but it's not always about the size of the specimen. Look at this. Look at how attractive this is due to, as we look in close at the zircons, the formation of the zircons are, look at that, perfect. There's not a nick or anything on that. And look at that. You see that little fissure, that little fractured area? This it could be one that could be extracted if you would wanted to. And then it would leave one of those skeletal impressions. You can see some of the nice color in the separate other moonstone, or I like to use the microcline feldspar crystals involved in this. And there is, look at the crystals. You can see it's just a jumble of microcline. Here's some some epidote. Here's some smaller additional zircons. So look at that. So there's the two beauties. Let's look at this one. Oh, this one does show the double termination. All right, well, there's the money shot, because both ends have been revealed to show you what a great crystal that is and what a great specimen. You can display that. Oh, there's a good display angle right there. That's exactly it. Shows the double termination there. The other one embedded there. The nice, wow. Okay, price on this, again, for something from such a unique location. If you went up to Asheville, North Carolina, and you had some of these specimens, you know, well, that's what I should be doing. If you were me and you went, I'd much rather sell it all to you, to all of you, at prices at a fraction of what you would find them for up there. That's what I was just going to say. You could take these to that kind of market environment because Henderson County isn't far from Asheville, North Carolina. And anyway, you know where I'm getting at. Price on this specimen, how about this? Only $48. Only $48 for that beauty. And you know, what a great catch indeed, especially for a made in America specimen, because that's what I'm talking about, made in America, and some true rarities to show for it. Now, this next one, item 1038. Excuse me, my eyes. I got to get to the eye doctor. 1038621. Let's see if the right thing comes up. 1038621. Yes, we got it. Okay, look at this. Look at this specimen, and it's a real snazzy. Look at that. All right. So you often in calcites will get the same kind of reflection that you see in a feldspar. And you can see that reflection. So this is a little quick way to separate one from the other. If you're not sure what it is, hardness test. And you can use, in this case, a key. A key is easily harder than calcite, softer than feldspar. If a key scratches that, then you know it's going to be in the calcite family. All right, what did we talk about just a few weeks back? It was a trivia question when we talked about if calcite was pink. What was going on? Well, it's a Mangano calcite, meaning it has a manganese content, giving it that color. Look what we have here. Look at those crystals that really jazz it up. And now, if you're ever confused when it comes to what is what between chalcopyrite or pyrite, it's real easy because you look for around your pyrite until you find a crystal. Wow, look at that. Hold on, I was just looking at that right there. That's a beautiful, beautiful different habit and form of calcite crystal right there is what it looks like. So you look around and at this material until you find a square. If you find a crystal that is square in the pyrite, chalcopyrite family, then you know you have pyrite. And right there looks like what I'm looking for. As soon as you find a square, then you know it's pyrite. Chalcopyrite, which is a copper iron sulfide, not just an iron sulfide, forms in a completely different crystal system, and it never makes the mistake of what it's supposed to look like. Oh, look at this. Okay, so look at the crystal back here. All right, now this specimen, as we come away from it a little bit, was a real trickster, even for me, to separate from the calcite, the quartz, and the other form of calcite. This looks like, look at these, see these bands of quartz? You have the Mangano and calcite, but then you have these little different shape calcites. There's more to explore on this, and as I was looking at this just now, I think there's some chalcopyrite right in here, potentially to look at as well. And so you might have to add that to your description. Let's look on the bottom, see if there's any good. Oh, well, look at what do we have there. Take this into the closet. Oh yeah, this is a closet specimen all the way, because not only is the calcite going to fluoresce, but yes, fluorite. This is, look at how that fluorite, oh, you can even see, look at the crystal edges to the calcite, and you have the fluorite around it. I would say that this is a fluorescent mineral. Oh yeah, actually it is. I do specify it's for the fluorescent collectors. It has pyrite, quartz, Mangano and calcite, fluorite, and whatever else you can find. Okay, so here is what I noted. Now, the calcite has orange fluorescence, the fluorite, purple fluorescence, and, oh, it has clear fluorite as well. So those little specimens, oh, let's get a side angle on that, actually. Can we? There we go, right there. Because now I'm wondering if that's not what I meant by a clear fluorite. Yeah, probably right there are clear fluorites. The going in the closet with a black light will help you determine a lot. It really does. That is a very usable tool for a specimen like this. Okay, this, for my fluorescent collectors, is a sale-priced item. No kidding. I am not kidding you. I have this now. If you're interested in this, I have it super sale priced, $28. Only $28. A lot of rigmarole. Now, while I have that right there for a moment, I'm sorry, I'm going to do this because when I tell you that things are a good deal or I show them to you, mark them down, and you still don't get them, then you know that I've threatened to take them back. And this is one that I have because I couldn't understand it, because the last price I have on here, oh, I can barely see it now, but it's right there. Look, it actually says, I know what that writing is. It's a single digit. It was $8. Let me show you what no one bought. Oregon copper sunstone preformed calves. This is Oregon sunstone. Look at the schiller on that. These would easily cut a cabochon, very desirable, or a faceted stone, smaller, yet still desirable. Look at this one. This would have faceted a clean smaller stone. Either way, the value of Oregon copper sunstone is up and up and up and up. Keep watching Shopping Network. We sell it in beautiful mountings here at one show or another from quite often from time to time. So if you're looking for it, mounted up, ready to go, here's the place. Since I offered you cabs and cutting material and nobody wanted it, I took it back home. Sorry to say. Okay, let me show you. This is a sale priced item, item number 798218. Now, this is the material that Miss Barbara and I had talked about before. Miss Barbara of Brooklyn, New York fame. And we both thought that wondered why it was marked as dravite, but that's the way it came to me by well-known New York collectors. So maybe they had some of it tested or whatnot. But it's difficult to tell the difference between dravite or shoral tourmaline, black tourmaline, if there's no translucency to the material. Look at these set of four crystals. As New York dravite, it looks like, but look at the different habit. This almost looks like the habit of some of the, and they're in these, each in these boxes with worn labels. I've had these a while, can you tell? From Pierpont, New York. It's going to be a selection of 4 of them. And I couldn't get any light, I don't think, to pass through these to be able to see if there was a coffee color or any kind of yellow. I don't know. Maybe someone have more luck playing with them. But look at all the crystals on these. Neat collector item, because I'm sure that this deposit has been mined out, and this is just some pieces left over from it. But this is from my Made in America collection. And how about this? How low can I go? I mean, come on. I got the set down now. If you want it's the last set I have. All 4 pieces. I can't believe this. Wow. I can barely say it. $16. $4 a crystal. It has to be worth that. Has to be worth that, right? All right. Now, something you haven't seen. Item number 1049622. 1049622. I have something really unique. Okay, it's an estate stone, so to speak. Let me show you. We'll start off in the perky box. A big perky box. Okay, now, there's a lot to be said about this. Okay, this is a polymorph of calcite. And now we know what polymorphs are. Remember, we have a polymorph of kyanite is selemonite and andalusite. Polymorphs of rutile are there's like 2 or 3 others, and polymorphs are the same chemical formula but a different crystal system. And like brookite and rutile are the same thing and often can look the same thing, but under closer inspection, it's a different crystal system. So this is aragonite. Aragonite has the same formula as calcite, just CaCO3, calcium carbonate. It often forms low temperature near the surface, and it has other polymorphs, but calcite is the most common one. Now, it was named in 1797 for the village of Molina de Aragon, Spain. But a lot of people thought that it was named for the Aragon province, but it wasn't. It was actually found and named for this little village of Molina de Aragon in 1797. And over there, it really matters. Of course it would. I'd lay claim as well. I wouldn't want someone else to claim the truth. Now, let me show you. There's more than just the crystal, which we'll talk about. Look at the value. There it is right there. Twin crystals, Aragon, Spain. Now, what again they mean by that is the actual town of Molina de Aragon. And someone's code long ago for the value, but we're going to leave that right there. This is done on a typewriter, folks. Yeah, when's that been ever done anymore? Now, let me show you the specimen, a real rarity. How I know it's truth to the location and what it is the color. This lavender color. Now, if Dave doesn't make it lavender, it's not his fault. But if you can, Dave, make it the lavender that it is. We always joke about that. But you'll get this, actually in different lighting, it looks a little bit different. But there, it is known for this particular color in aragonite. And it is then especially even better known and famous for its rare and collectible twinned crystals. True twins, okay? True twins. And by that, I mean, look at this. As you look at this crystal shape, look at it. It comes out the other side. And if you look at it from this angle, count the sides, and you know that it is one crystal that has grown over the other as a true twin. Look at that. This is one of the most desirable formations in twinned crystals that you can have. It's a complete one within the other. Now, I didn't even do this yet, so let me try it. I actually want to, let me backlight this a little bit. There we go. And let's see what, there we go. Hold on. Okay. I saw there some beautiful lavender color tone at particular angles in this, and was just wanting to see how well the twin, a penetration twin, showed through. If it could be, see, you can see the lavender colors coming through depending on the angle I feature. Yeah, there we go. You can really see that. How unusual and rare. Thank you, sir. You can have a lot of fun looking at exactly how that forms. Aragonite. When have you seen? You've seen aragonite is another one of those minerals that takes on a lot of different habits or forms, but this is one that I have, this is the first time I have seen anything like this specimen in this piece. Price on this, a real collector's piece, and only $68. And only $68. Wow. That's opportunity. Okay, let me tuck that away safely. I'll be right back. Let's go to Italy. You know, if someone says to you, Italy, even us rockhounds, what's the first thing that would come to your mind? Or let's put it this way. What's not the first thing that comes to your mind? Not the first thing. It's not going to be a rock or mineral. You know, if it was, here's the best it would be that you hear of. Italian what? Marble. Marble. Then the other thing, well, this is kind of organic, but you hear, oh, Sardinian coral. If anybody didn't know, Sardinia island off of Italy. You know, or Italian cameos, or Italian glass. You just don't think of that many minerals. But let me tell you one thing that they do have. And that is some of the finest epidote that I have seen. Let's go in and take a closer look at what we have here. This is a particular type of habit of epidote. In other words, the crystal form that is going to look different than the long needles that is epidote in quartz. That is the Moroccan epidote. This looks totally different. Let's see, Dave, if we can find it. Go in close where we can find it. This will, yeah, there we go. This will look like little sprays. Let me see if I can in an isolated crystal. they have little sprays that come away from a center. And depending on which way they turn, now look at some of the quartz crystals along the way. And look at the little skeletal formation. Look at that. Look at that on the surface of that little tiny crystal. That's gorgeous. This is one to be explored. I got to looking down and around all these crystals, and I just became lost in the fun of it. Look at these quartz. So quartz and epidote that isn't an epidote needle inside of quartz. Look at this. Look at these quartz crystals along the edge and that incredible color. See, there we go. Let me get my pointer beside my finger. You get these beautiful spray formations in the epidote that don't look anything like the Moroccan epidote. So you know it's from somewhere different. Now look in the background here where my finger was. There we go. Dave just did exactly what I wanted him to. He focused, got the focal plane on the quartz. Look at that. You know, that would make a neat framed shot. Quartz crystals back there. Between that. So anyway, you have some really, really neat, unusual formations. This is coming around the third side of the piece. And you get this entire additional cluster of quartz and the epidote. This comes from a little place outside of Tuscany. Outside of Tuscany. And a little known location. Look at that crystal up there. You can see the rest of it. It looks like there's even some dendritic type looking material. But a really unique. If you collect epidote or want to collect epidote from other sources, this is a good one to add to your collection. I actually have the exact closer place it comes from. And I'm not going to try to speak. If it was in Spanish, I could do it. But Campo I don't know, Paris, Tuscany, Italy. There. Price on this? You're going to love it because it is only for something that is such a cool item. If you are trying to collect, different specimens from different places in the world, $38. $38 on that. And it's nice size. And it's from an unusual place, and I like that. All right, here, sale priced item, everybody, 1042021. 1042021. Sale priced item when it shouldn't be. This should not be sale priced, but I'm doing it. Look at this. One of my other favorite kind of cuts, and I used to make lots of neat jewelry with it, is what they call the bullet cabs. And this is, actually it's a good time to show this today since I showed the real Oregon copper-bearing Sunstone. Yes, sir. This is 10429. Oh, I'm so sorry if I read that wrong the first time. 1042021. Okay, look at this. All right, look at this. Now, yes, and here's the rub it in your nose, in your face, the copper sunstones nobody wanted. All right, so maybe you'd rather have the hematite sunstones. And maybe these are extremely popular. They really are. And I'm just teasing everybody because everything is great. Everything's, as long as it's a genuine, untreated rock, stone or mineral, they're all beautiful. As Raven says, there's no such thing as an ugly rock, including just one you pick up in the yard. And she's really right about that. Very true. As a rock hound, there is no such thing as ugly rock. Look at the even cat's eye due to the direction the hematite is in that forms on these. Now, this for so long was called sunstone that people think that sunstone looks like this. Well, hematite sunstone does from India. But the most valuable, true sunstone is, of course, the Oregon sunstone with copper that is found no place else in the world. All right, I am marking this guy way down. These actually are not inexpensive when you go to buy them in the wholesale markets. So that's why when I had priced this at $28 and it didn't sell, I was quite surprised. Here we go. So maybe, then you will want this for, how about let's do this, $12. $12. Yeah, no point. Don't have time to show it again. It was a project stone. Don't have time to do the project. So sell the stone, lose money. That's the way Shawn does business. All right, let me show you this next guy. You might like it better. 1042921. It's a set of 2, and it comes in a suspension box. And look at this. Oh yeah, here's the good stuff. Look at that. White and pink bicolor tourmaline. And then look at this crystal. Oh, wow. Look at that tourmaline. And that's a beauty. That's, yeah, there we go. We got the color now. Very pink stone, as you can see. Look at that. And now remember, tourmaline, different directions, it'll be different colors. So you see that going, looking at through it right there. As I turn it, did you see how much different the pink was in another particular direction? And yeah, see right there, and then from the end as well. I love it when they stand up like that. And then look at the bicolor one. Wow, a great collection of 2. This is going to, that would make fantastic pendants. This is going to be a fun opportunity for someone. It is a sale-priced item, so I featured it before. Shouldn't mark it down at all, but I am going to. How about this? Let's take a huge discount and make it only $38 for you. $38 as the clock is ticking on our show. Let's get some things before you. As I always don't get to show you as much as I want to. All right, now, let me show you item number 1040221. And I should have featured this when I showed the other star sapphires, but I wasn't that organized. But I'm going to show it now. Let's look at this again, because if you want to collect sapphires, this should be one of them in your collection. Look at this. Yeah, these are the green, well, as close as you get really to the green star sapphires. And in different lights of color, they're actually different shades of green. I'll show you the green in a minute, what I mean by the green. And you can see that they can look dark until you get colors. Look at that. Now, some of these were 12 ray stars. Let me see. And that happens when they twin. Just the same thing like you saw the twin crystals before. Well, they'll they'll twin also and then create that. So let me show you with a little light behind it where I get the, because I don't want you to think I'm nuts when I put green there. So let me show you. If I back like this, there we go. Thank you, sir. And don't overshade it. You can see that I'm not imagining it. It's green. Thank you, sir. And that's where it comes from. And that's why it's Australian. They are known to have what they call the party colors. And that means part one color, part the other. Oftentimes, yellow and green going together. And so then you get the blend of the color of yellow and green mixed. Okay, let me show you a collector piece. Item, oh, thank you. Sorry about that. Yeah, big discount. Okay, here. We're going to make it fun and real easy for someone to buy this guy, because let's make it 12 bucks. $12 to have an Australian star sapphire that is actually cut very nicely and has a really good star. Now, that is obviously a sale priced item. Like this next one is going to be, oh my goodness, but it shouldn't be. Item number 723217. 723217. When this material came out, Raven and I were at a show and they had a flat of it. And I kid you not, about 10 pieces of this they wanted, and I'm talking about wholesale show, true wholesale, $1,500 for about 10 pieces of this material, this size. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it that it was that rare and that unique and that unusual that it was commanding that price. And they were selling flats. They had told me how many other flats they had already sold of this material. This was a new discovery of lepidolite. Now, this is yellow lepidolite. We know lepidolite mica as being a lithium mica more associated with the color lavender or purple. So for yellow, for it to be yellow, most unusual in the market. I have marked this down to where I cannot, to where I start, I kid you not, I really started, I'm not gonna tell you. Here, I'm just gonna show you. I'm gonna show you the bag real quick. Look at this. See this? Okay, you can stop your little thing and look it up at home, because I know you got the fancy DVR recorders. I'm gonna stop it right there and see that whole bag at one time. Well, if you do, you'll see that the original price on this was $115. And the lowest price that no one bought it for was $34. I kid you not. This would have been 100, and I'm talking about maybe 10 years ago. There's not been any more of it found. It is one of the most unusual, look at this, rarest colors of, oh, I gave you the wrong item number, I think. 723217. Or gave you the right item number, I think, because I don't know what the item is. Everybody at home must have been thinking I was nuts. Yellow, Brazilian lepidolite from Itinga. So I know exactly where it's come from. Extremely rare and unusual color. Okay, so really, you can throw a rock at me if you want. Just don't let it be a good one, because you know what? You didn't buy it at the lowest price. I can't go any lower. There was a point when something goes on sale, it's on sale, and if it doesn't get sold during that sale period, what do people do? They mark it back up. They have to if they offer it below their price. So no one bought it at the $34 that you stopped your DVR on and saw the lowest price on this bag that has been shown so many times. So this is it. This is the last price. After this, there's no more room to write on the bag, so the piece goes home. I'm going to offer it not at the lowest price on the bag. I realize how ridiculously inexpensive and poor business that was to sell something far below what you can replace it for. But I am going to make it very inexpensive. I am going to make it only $48. After that, Raven, remind me, that piece goes home. This is huge. Most of the pieces of the yellow lepidolite from Itinga, from Brazil, are much smaller. Much smaller. $48. Now, I cannot believe I have this. Item number 1044422. This is still available? Crazy. Look at this. Look at the quality to the British Colombian nephrite. You know, these items, what are they? I think when we first got these are 5 or 6 years old. No, let's see, older than this show. So yes, probably about 6 years old. There is the inventory, what this would cost now, what nephrite has done in the market. The British Colombian nephrite has gone crazy due to the dumb Jade show that actually does more harm than good in being able to get leases from the tribal lands. Because you know why? Here, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to just condense the entire story down to a couple sentences. And I'm sure that Austin is saying, yeah, I'd like to see that. But here's the truth. Okay, you know, just like they had the gold rush show and gold, well, the gold is controlled on the world market. So it doesn't affect, the show won't affect the price of gold. But when a mining source, something like Nephrite Jade, is localized to native tribal lands, and the leases for mining are controlled through those tribes, if the tribe sees their lands and these overinflated values put on their jade in these TV shows, what do you think is going to happen? And that's what they do. They overinflate, for television, of course, valuations. Well, the tribal people don't know the business, the market. They don't know the real value. They just see this made up sale, made up value being said on a TV show. Oh, it's got to be true then, right? What do? They went up on their leases, on the pricing that they were charging the miners, an exorbitant amount, and demanded inspections. The inspections were such, like OSHA, that what we have here, well, on tribal lands, it's kind of like here, like we have our reservations, which operate like a autonomous separate entity. On their tribal lands, they have like safety inspectors. To the point, the inspections are so ridiculous that it got to the point, and I'm talking to the owner. This is how close I work with these. I am talking to the owner of the 3 claims. And the reasoning behind all this. So this is not hearsay. This is getting it straight from the prospector's mouth. They even complain about cracks in the seat of a, Caterpillar tractor that sits out and works in the sun. I have cracks in the seat of my tractor, and I've hardly even ridden it or done anything, but it sits out. A crack in the seat. And they would write them up for a complaint. I kid you not. And there is it in a nutshell. Overinflated values of the tribal lands due to misrepresented values from a TV show and from other nefarious actors, let's just say, involved in that industry. Now, making what the value of this nephrite would be now so much more than what I'm offering this to you for. Price on this, I'm going to sale price it, even though I don't even want to know what it would cost me to replace, because I'm not going to be replacing it. So if someone wants this, it's the only one. A very cool business card holder that would look cool on anyone's desk. Or you know what? If you're a lapidary, take the wooden piece off. Look at what you'd have for a piece of cutting quality. For only $58. You couldn't get nephrite of this quality for $58 in any market. Perfect thickness for stone cutting. There you go. And you got the truth to the inside scoop on the story of British Colombian jade mining, which I am closely affiliated with. And if I ever get time in this world, I am going to go up there, as I've been invited to tour many different mines. Asif and I have been invited to go to Pakistan. Not a good time to go up there now, but it's nice to be invited. I have something really nice. 1042321. Asif was born in Pakistan. He as a child, and it would be going back to some of his homelands. And a few years ago, that was several years ago, something possible. It sounded doable, but things change. But it's neat to know. I still have the connections, and it's just neat to know that we had safe passage, which that's what you have to have. You have to go or know someone and go with that person to be able to access places like that. All right, this next item, look at this. Why did not anyone buy that? Why do I still have this stunning Sphene crystal? 37.52 carats. It's a calcium titanium silicate. Greek, sphenos, for the word wedge, because of the crystal shape, discovered in 1783. Some of these things you think, they're discovered recently. No, they're discovered a long time ago. Look at that. Now you can see why sphenos for wedge, because look at the crystal form. If that's not a wedge, look at how beautiful that color is. And give that to someone like Mr. Anthony, no telling what kind of stone he could cut out of that. All right, I'm kind of liking this crystal back. I don't know, I probably shouldn't have even shown it again, especially discounted, but I am going to put it on sale price at one more time. I've only showed it once, but I'm only going to show it one more at a discount because it's too fine of an opportunity. Only $118. After that, Raven, remind us to take it back home because that's where these come from, our own personal collection. It's quite a joy to, I know it is for Raven at least, to have something and put it back on display at home. Item number 949220. Look at the color of that. 49220. Now, this is sticking with the same theme. Now, you can see that's a Madagascar Sphene crystal, right? Okay. Beautiful color. Well, look what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you another Sphene crystal cluster opportunity. And yes, here's the Sphene crystals. Now, this is such cool Pakistani Sphene. Now, I've shown you many Pakistani Sphenes that are the beautiful greens and all that color tone to them, okay? Those are neat, but it is often much cooler to have an abnormal Sphene. This one has so much, chlorite or clinochlor that it is throughout the entire crystal. It also has adularia, which is a type of feldspar, chalcopyrite, calcite, and hematite on this piece. Let's look at this specimen in close. You can see the reflection of the Sphene crystals in this. You can see the chlorite, reflective chlorite crystals around this. You can see, look down in here, a little bit of the green Sphenes, right, that you're used to as we come in closer there. You can see what we just showed you, the green right down there. But now, and then there's some green that the chlorite hasn't gotten to. Look at this stunning specimen. It's a twin. You see where the crystal is split right here at the bottom. Let me show you. Let me show you what color. Let's see. Now, I haven't done this, so I really don't know what's going to do, but let's see what it's going to do. Uh-huh. There you go. Dave, work your... There we go. Here we go. See, if you didn't think it was a Sphene, there's your green. There's your green Sphene. But just all nicely included. Look at that. Thank you, sir. Look at that. That's pretty cool. And collectible. Look it, there's Sphene crystals all throughout this piece. And then there's little green ones. Look at these green ones dotting it everywhere. Everywhere. This is going to be one to look at with a, here's your adularia. Look at your feldspar right here. Here's your adularia, where the word adularescence comes from for the moonstone effect. Oh, here is the hematite that I talked about. All right, see that? Look at these crystals. Here is the calcites, it looks like. The calcites right there that I talked about. This is a stunning specimen that is going to be difficult to find if you are in a market looking for something like this. Good luck. Look at everything going on with it. Look at that crystal right there. Price on this to put it on sale, which I am, is kind of ridiculous, but that's what I do. $68. Only $68. There's an opportunity for anyone and everyone. Wow. Now, let me see what I have. Okay, I was amazed that no one, and I'm not going to refeature it, that no one got in on that Euclase. If you know what I'm talking about, you can probably call them up and get the item number but for passing up that Euclase, that very rare gemstone, I am most surprised. because what I offered that beauty for was a ridiculous opportunity. Okay, here is 1040121. Here's a chance to get in again on a real rarity. Cowie Valley, North Carolina ruby and Mason Mountain sapphires. Mined by me, all of it mined by me in the 70s. You have these incredible, and when you look at these and when you know what actual Cowie Valley, North Carolina rubies look like, you look at them and say, oh, wow, those are North Carolina rubies. Look at that color. Look at that color. Look at the crystal edge to it, and wow, that's an amazing specimen or a cabochon. Look at, you see the iron oxide on the outside of them? Another tell that it came from the alluvial gravels, which most of the Cowie Valley rubies were mined alluvially, meaning they had washed out from their original. Look at that original vein. Beautiful, beautiful red color. And then the Mason Mountain sapphires, which are known, of course, to have a beautiful pinkish purple color tone and often a mica schist exterior. I mined those myself, and that mine's a lot of fun. You get muddy, but it is a lot of fun. And out past the airport in Macon County, Franklin, and go to the end of the road till it dead ends, and there you go. Look at those. Anyway, set of 4 North Carolina Cowie Valley rubies and sapphires. To put these on sale, kind of silly, but I'm going to, because I want someone to share in something I mined. The fact that I mined these is in the description, and I'm going to make all 4 of those only $48. That's only $12 a specimen. To get a true Cowie Valley ruby alone, to even, you know, how many rubies do you see when you facet them that there's no real translucency or transparency to them? So if you want to facet these, there's nothing wrong with faceting these stones, because you're going to wind up with many rubies that are sold in the world market that are just so similar, like the Burmese stones. They cut them for the color. You can cab them if you want, but there's nothing wrong with faceting them. I'm just saying you can wind up with one of the rarest rubies in the world, and that is a North Carolina ruby. Now, unbelievable. You guys must be gambling on leaving stuff behind, gambling on the sale price. 1044922. For those of you that have, and many of you have really enjoyed the sale items the last several shows. So I have been including some that I wouldn't normally include in a sale. And this next parcel is part of those that normally, wow, they were already inexpensive enough. How low do you want me to go? Check these out. Now let me raise the curtain. Look at these Tanzanian zircons. Tanzanian zircons and natural color. Look at these. Look at these stones. Look at that. This is zircon. Look at that color. It would look better if I even wiped them off, but I'm not. We don't have time. I'd rather show you more goods. Put them on sale first. Look at that. Look at that. So all three stones at 5.75 carat at $12 a carat was $69. The special I did was $68. That's $12 a stone. Fine. I mean, zircon can only be so low. Can't replace it. Make it $10 a carat, $57 last price. $57. That's a sale price, $10 a carat. I'm putting final on the bag because that is kind of silly. Any one of those stones, especially that purple one in a zircon, is worth beyond the price I'm offering all three for. Yeah, that one kind of firing me up there. I have another epidote, but no one was interested. Another one from Italy, but I tell you what, here's the rarity, 1045122. Now, here's a collector stone that boggles my mind. Everybody, I guess y'all must have been mad at me the weekend I showed these. For you to turn down a stone that is rarely ever offered is quite surprising, because look at this, 1045122, a star spinel. Look at that. I kid you not. Charcoal, purple, blue, whatever kind of colors. You know, it's kind of, I've looked at this at different times and seen different colors at it. And then you multiple light reflections. Yeah, the reflections from the turntable. Look at that. Look at that. That actually let me get rid of that. Let me put this up, and there we go. That's more better. Now it looks like it should. Look at those legs. This is a true collector's gem. I mean, how many times have you ever had the opportunity to buy a star spinel? One little inclusion in the face, but the legs go around and through it, as you can see. Beautiful, beautiful, rare gem. And the last time that I have seen those was the last time that I offered them when we had the live show, probably about 6 years ago, maybe 7 years ago. All right. To put that on sale is kind of silly. It was only $50 a carat anyway. And I already looked, it was already a bargain. But let's do this. Since I know you guys like it, are spoiled, and you've been enjoying the sale prices, I guess so. Let's make it $77 then. I don't even know what price per carat it is. I'm not going to spend the time to figure that out. But at $77, that is a big stone and a rare stone. And if you love stones with optical properties, then you have to have a star spinel in your collection. You have to. That's at least the way I saw it. Item number 1036821. 1036821. I'm not going to take these out of the little gem tube because I don't need to. Look at this. Look at that. Those are natural color Madagascar golden barrels. For my own collection, I even know right where they are from in Madagascar. You know, when I found some golden beryl up at the Cochrane mine in Cherokee County, Georgia, I was so proud of my golden beryl. Imagine if I would have found even a little crystal that was this clarity and color. Yeah, it wasn't quite anything like this, but anyway, it was nice what I found. Those are stunning. Those are stunning. And, you know, until you know what to do with them, you might as well get them. And even if you don't ever do anything with them, if you have a collection, I am trying to stop this, of beryl, okay? Well, those can be added to your collection for $12. $12. And as I say, and you get both of them for that. $12. Yeah. So that's a ooh la la price. Okay, let's see. We didn't get to anything on the back, but we're not going to have time except for one item. We're going to make this the last item of the show. We never get to as much as I want to, but a lot of, I know Asif's got other scheduled things. I'm just so glad that he is the busiest man at gem shopping, and I appreciate him stopping to do this show as he does. 992-021. 992-021. Here is maybe the best value to the show. Really, I kid you not. Let's just take this away and let's show you what this really is. Look at that. Okay, there is everything from irises. This is everything from, if you're a rock hound and you have a desk or an office and you need paperweight, or if you just want a item on your desk that would relate also to what your hobby or passion or love is, this is perfect for that. Look at this. This is a huge cabochon. Now, let me show you. This is something that I think I forgot to actually point out last time I featured this. Look at the pink tourmalines. Yeah, involved here. Yeah, look at the bicolor ones, the watermelon ones. Oh yeah, there's one. See, it's split down through the middle, and you can see the pink center. The watermelon. These are not shoral tourmaline. In other words, black tourmaline crystals. No, these are green, and you can see the number and intensity of the green. There we go. As we highlight some of the areas, look at that crystal there, and all the other ones coming off of it. Yeah. Wow, look at this. Look at that. Look at that green. What a beautiful and also this is one where you can put a light under it. Look at that. As well. And light it up, make it into night light, all kinds of things. Thank you, sir. All these are green as well. Look at how big that is. And here's the ridiculous thing. I offered that. Oh, look at the bottom of that. That's lepidolite. Looks like lepidolite. Mica might be involved in there as well. I'd have to look at that a little bit closer, but just giving you the heads up if you want to inspect it yourself as well. All right, now that's a terminated course. Price of this, guess what? If you turn it down for $48, I don't know how any lower I could, or anything else I could do. $48 on that. Wow. Take advantage. Okay, I got to clean up for a minute before I can even get to the trivia questions, but we'll be right back to you with the trivia. Well, I made it. We're going to start counting the shows off again. Show number 1 in a row. Thank you all for being patient and putting up with me throughout this entire 18-month long process. And I know so many of you look forward to the show on Mondays, and it's such a disappointment for you when I don't make it. And I don't make that decision until the morning of. I do everything I can to get here, and if I'm not here, then you know there's something, went wrong. But I am confident that that's not going to happen again, right? Number 1 of many, many more. Just as Miss Gabby reminded us that we're coming upon our 5-year anniversary here in a couple months. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you enjoyed sale price items. I couldn't believe so many of beautiful pieces have been left behind, but I'm giving you one more chance to get in on some of them, even less than they were. So the new items also that I featured in there, and were some real beauties. And down the road here, coming up as the shows move forward, I have some fun things as well. As I look deeper and deeper into our collection and make choices that I realize on some things that I'm never going to get to as a project, and other things that mineral specimens, maybe I have 2 or 3 of something, and have to part with one or two of them, which, you know, okay, we all make those decisions, right? Now, I have a real exciting trivia for you. And it's going to be a little bit different, but it's not anything we have not done before. Instead of me asking a couple of questions and you answering those, this is a trivia where there's, you know, no notes. Well, notes could work, but you're going to really be tested on your mineral identification by visual inspection only, and visual inspection through the TV. Not even getting to hold it in your hand like I sometimes do. Even though all of my Pakistani mineral specimens and the sea freight shipment, every bit of all of that, I purchased through strictly only pictures of the goods. Never once was I disappointed. Except the one guy that tried to sell me the one that he put together. It was like putting, you know, the old Johnny Cash song where he talked about he had a 57, 58, 59, you know, 60, 61 Chevy where, you know, he kept taking the parts out of the car place he worked at. And so he built this car over time. Well, this guy built a mineral specimen, and I called out the dealer on it, and he got in big trouble because it was he was shamed among his peers. And he had mineral specimens in one specimen, all glued together. I mean, it was a hodgepodge. And it took my knowledge, and you're talking about all these others, my knowledge that I could just see that calcite, type of calcite is not found in a specimen in Pakistan in these kind of things. And first the guy, you know, because he was amongst his other peers, lied. He said, oh, no, all genuine. And then when I proved it and he was called out on it, then, wow, he was really shamed. And then my dealer was really embarrassed to me, and I've been getting good deals from him ever since. So it is so important for you to be able to look at a specimen and be able to know that what you are being offered is what it is. So you need to be able to do visual inspection even without being able to hold it. So we're going to start off, and I'm not saying whether it's what you're going to win or not for the trivia prize, but you have to get 3 of the identifiable, of the 4 minerals that are easily identifiable. Name 3 of them. Let's show you that specimen, and then I'll come back. All right. This is the specimen. There is 4 easily identifiable minerals on it. Name 3 of the 4 or 4 of the 4. Okay. And we've covered this extensively. I want everybody to participate. Let's see what you know, because this is something that you can't, you know, rewinding or anything else isn't going to give you the answer. Only your true knowledge will give you that answer. So that's a little different, isn't it? And we may do a little bit more of that because you know what? No matter what level of, whether if you go to GIA to get your gemologist degree or go to a college or wherever you do, at some point there comes a test. And, you know, it determines level of knowledge intake, right? So let's just see how well everybody does. Now the pressure's on you. All right, I enjoyed this. You can tell I did. You can tell I missed all of you. My passion is everything that it always is when I am on all 8 cylinders, because I got a big Dodge Hemi and I love it. And my Hemi is calling me. Those woods are calling me. And yeah, but until then, my tractor's calling me more so. Everybody stay safe. Say prayers for world peace. And that would not be something overstated by saying that. And in the meantime, keep your own self safe. Love and hug one another. And as Anthony says, eyes down, because that's where the rocks and minerals are. Don't forget, step on Mother Nature, step on the earth, ground yourself. It's not a concrete world. We have just put the concrete over the world. So there's such a thing as earth and grass. Don't make it all about the concrete. We love you here from Gem Shopping, from all of us that have been here for so many years, that know so many of you, and appreciate every single one of you. Bring more of your friends and family into the fold. And I know from my heart and in this show, we love to give back. And you will enjoy the participation and the education that you will get from tuning in to Gem Shopping. Can't wait. See you next Monday.